Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with Weekly Comic Book Corner. We've made it through this week's non-Elseworlds Batman books. Now it's time to keep on trucking. Kick things off with Outsiders, number 10. Where we left off in Outsiders, the carrier had become equipped with a basically galaxy-destroying gun that had been previously guarded by an ancient civilization, and had been discovered, which had been discovered by drummer Chiquita Wagner, Lucius Fox, and Luke Fox. Meanwhile, Batwoman was kind of beginning to distrust drummer, and she'd also brought a smaller version of the same gun onto the carrier. So apparently, though, Batwoman's been reading the Planetary Journal of drummer, and she states that they've got a crisis. But apparently drummer's plan is so far along that Batwoman figures it doesn't matter if drummer knows. But she suggests that Luke read the journal and skip to the end. But it seems that the cannon is being loaded up. And however, Chiquita's oldest friend, who's been helping her, has decided to bring along some friends, and potentially they are going to stop it. The creature that they help the challenges of the unknown deal with, the Century Baby, as well as I believe it's Ginny Hex. And that might not be enough to stop drummer. But drummer gives a warning to the carrier that if drummer was the carrier and she didn't want all these kids to die right in front of her, she opens some more doors, which basically causes allows drummer to basically expel the Sentry Baby and as well as Ginny Hex. However, the ancient creature, Drummer states, deserves better. But it also gets them going through a door. But Drummer states that she hasn't had much fun in years, and she should end the world more often. But Batwoman and Batwing approach her then, and Batwoman states that well, since Chiquita is pointing a gun at the universe, that makes her Batwoman's problem. But she's priming everything. And Chiquita pulls the trigger. And the carrier fires its universe gun as the issue ends. Everything turns white. Interesting. That's all I can say there. It's just interesting. It's been kind of the thing I can always say with Outsiders is that this current run of Outsiders is that it's interesting. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Gotham by Gaslight: The Kryptonian Age, number 3. Where we left off, the Gotham by Gaslight version of Wonder Woman appeared before Professor Adam Strange and saved him in his expedition, his Antarctic expedition. Meanwhile, other wheels were beginning to turn. The issue begins with a letter to Bruce Wayne from Adam Strange about the events that have dealt with Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman fights some of the ancient bugs. Uses the lasso to commune with it. And gets it to retreat, but gives a warning. The doom that's akin to Krypton shall return, and it shall be Diana's doom as well. But she basically, not so much swears herself to Adam Strange's people, but more swears herself to the protection of the Earth, or the world of man. Meanwhile, in Gotham, a Mr. Malone, Bruce Wayne, goes to a brothel. He says Selena. Apparently, he found her through. He found who she was because of her perfume. But Batman points out that he's not. He isn't there for Selena. But some of the other girls show up to defend Selena, and Selena says, "Okay, this is You guys aren't needed, but thank you. There is one of the cultists from the first issue that tried to steal the ring of Jung Lee. Only one of them has survived, and is a non-consensual guest of Selena's. All that he'll say, though, is the sleeper awakens. But the singer wants to know where the real ring is, and Bruce says that it's well protected. We'll cut to Colorado. An aerialist, a hot air balloon aerialist, by the name of Alan Scott, who calls his balloon the Green Lantern, is on a train. A private car is guarded by the Pinkertons. A woman is in possession of the ring of John Lee. Apparently, many men died for it, it said, before her grandfather claimed it for himself in the Opium Wars. 30 years ago or more, it began to glow and spoke to the woman in her dreams. 3 times shall I flame green, it said. The first to bring death, the second to bring life, the third to bring power. But apparently she can tell that it likes it, Alan Scott. However, the League of Shadows has planted explosives around on the bridge that the train is about to cross and detonates them, causing the train to crash. In Antarctica, Diana wraps her hand in Adam Strange's hand with her with a lasso, and he gets to see Strateris, which is where the Amazons reside. Though Themyscira is in Strateris, and it's more to mutual aid and self-preservation along there. But apparently the doom of Krypton unleashed the horrors of the other world and shifted the Earth's magnetic poles upon themselves, and all civilization was laid waste. Diana led an expedition of 12 Amazons to return to the surface because of the doom of Krypton returning. Of which she was the only survivor. When we get to Mars, and a temple open. A temple. Oh, seems a sarcophagus opens in a temple. With a green hand and 2 glowing red eyes. And that is where the issue ends. So, we're getting Martian Manhunter, probably in the next issue. But this has been pretty neat. Looking forward to seeing what the doom of Krypton exactly was. It just says. Yeah. But moving on to our next book, our last book of the moment, in fact, we've got DC vs. Vampires World War V, #1. Return to the DC vs. Vampires Earth. Part of DC's recent Elseworlds reinvigoration of the Elseworlds line. So, DC vs. Vampires was set in a world where the vampires took over by turning superheroes. Some of the most powerful ones, in fact. But it seemed there was a truce that things had maybe calmed down. So the issue begins 9 months previously. Kyle Rayner and John Stewart arrive on Earth, but it seems there's no signs of the world as it's supposed to be, but John Stewart says that looks like there was an evacuation or a plague, but Blue Beetle somewhat fills John in. Apparently, the Lanterns have been dealing with a problem. Kyle's explaining that him and John have been gone for almost a year. Hal Jordan thought that he discovered a threat on the other side of the cosmos and asked us to investigate while he gathered reinforcements. He was right, but help never came. There was a war between but we're not told who the war was between. Obviously, the Green Lantern Corps but John interrupts, asking where Hal is. Vixen explains that Hal was killed early in the fighting by the humans, and yes, these are superhuman vampires. They do what they can to try and take out the vampires, but Wonder Woman shows up, impales Kyle, and then, well, John Stewart tries to escape, but he's eaten by Elongated Man. Though something doesn't feel right, and basically John Stewart blasts his way out of Elongated Man. And apparently John Stewart dies, though. And the ring goes elsewhere. But now there's a downed tree that's blocking a truck, and it's basically as a preparation for an attack by Damian Wayne, the rogue vampire who is, well, fighting vampires. In the truck, however, is a shipment of humans who Damian and his forces feed upon. In West Texas, Constantine brings Grodd, who's a vampire, to speak to the basically human council. Grodd states he's there to save a peace that many died for. And he adds that Damian is jeopardizing that peace, and maybe the humans should take care of him. Though it's pointed out that Damian's vampire, that makes him, Queen Barbara's problem, and Talia, however, has no desire to see her son die. But Grodd leaves to go back to Gotham to tell Queen Barbara what's happened. Ollie's not really on board with killing Damien if he's, causing trouble for the vampires. It's basically the war between humans and vampires has really turned cold, as well as the weather had. So, but in New Jersey, it seems a vampire protecting a baby is cornered by another group of vampires, but the additional group of vampires are killed by Batman. But this Batman is wearing a face covering over the lower half of the face as well as the cowl, so presumably it's not Bruce. Also given the fact that everyone knows that apparently Bruce Wayne died early on. That Batman died early on. But the other vampire turns to mist and leaves before he can find out who this new Batman is. Ollie and Dinah have a discussion about the recent Human Council meeting. Apparently, though, it didn't really sink in with Ollie what Constantine had initially proposed. It wasn't a way to end the war, or to win the war, but to stop it. And it never really hit him until that night. In Gotham, Grodd, Aquaman, and Aquaman are talking with Queen Barbara. Apparently, Aquaman is constantly is very vocally in favor of attacking doing a prolonged fight with the humans because, well, they'll win just by the grace of being immortal-ish. But Barbara's trying to preserve the peace. However, Hush shows up as an emissary for Damian Wayne. He brings a message to Queen Barbara. The message being Sic Semper Tyrannis. And he activates a bomb and sets off a bomb that seemingly incinerates him and seemingly also burns Barbara quite severely. And Barbara falls from her tower in Gotham City. And that is where the issue ends. Okay, alright. Interesting. Let's see how the whole thing plays out and all the pieces fit together. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.